Hey folks, Guns Gear on target training out here in Oregon. We're doing a super quick video today on the Beretta APX. This is a polymer frame pistol that Beretta started producing a few years ago. This particular one is a non-issued or unissued police trade, so it's not been shot, it's brand new. It was actually sent to Brazil. It was a contract that Beretta did with the Brazilian government. And then a few years later, they have these lying around. They decide they're going to put them out to market. So right away, looking at the pistol, one of the things that Beretta typically has is they have a fairly high bore axis that for me in their pistols just doesn't work great. Now, it is an interesting design. It has some features on it that are nice out of the box. You know, iron sights here that have that big white dot in the front and dots in the rear, so it makes it easier to pick up and see. It's got some essentially serrations that run across the top that I actually kind of like the way it looks. It looks cool. We've got essentially a fairly high beaver tail here that comes up pretty high, so you can get your hands pretty far up in there. It gives you 3 different back straps. So you have a small, medium, large. This is the medium one. Not crazy about the feeling of the medium. Probably want to swap it out with the small version. Comes with 2 17-round magazines, so 17 plus 1. And it has one of the crappiest triggers that I've experienced out of a polymer frame gun of any kind. So this is really creepy. Where is it? And then right about here, oh my God, it's terrible. Just look at that. You see that slight movement? What is that all about? Weird world. Oh my God. Or weird Wheeler trigger pull tool. Initial reading was 8 pounds. It can't be that much, although it could be. It's that bad. Let's see if I can keep the right pressure on this thing. It's in excess of 8 pounds for a striker fired gun. It's terrible. Holy moly. Might as well just go with a double action pistol at that point. The trigger reminds me a little bit. HK put out a special edition that was for pilots. I don't remember the contract, but I had a friend who was a pilot, and he was one of those guys that had the authorization to be armed on a flight in the cockpit. And that thing had the worst trigger. It had like a 13-pound trigger. And this is +8 for sure. The Wheeler scale only goes up to 8 pounds. And man, this is bad. This is really bad. And it's really difficult for me anyway. What do I know? But for me anyway, to get to that point where there's so much heavy weight on the trigger, and it's not like you get, you know, there's some slack or there's take up, and then you get to that firm wall. It's like you have to keep pressing through, and it's really gritty and spongy. And I'm surprised, because it's not that hard to make polymer frame pistols with decent triggers. So that part of it is absolutely a turnoff for me. The takedown process as well, it's just like they overcomplicated a simple design in terms of a polymer frame pistol, and they made it somehow like more, I don't know. They took all the things that polymer frame pistols are not really great at, and they sort of made it worse. The ergonomics are okay. And actually, the visual, like the aesthetics of the pistol, are really nice. It does have a loaded chamber indicator for those of you who care about that sort of thing. So obviously, if a round is in there, this little bar presses up, which is just something, if you're concerned about if the pistol is loaded, you might want to check it. But again, loaded chamber indicators so that they can comply with some lawyer saying you need to make sure you mitigate your liability and have a loaded chamber indicator. Whatever. It does have the serialized trigger parts, which means the gun is not the gun. The gun is the whole trigger package, that whole module or chassis, similar to the SIG pistols, polymer frame pistols out there. So you can swap it, like that chassis, with different frames. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. But for me, and I get a great deal on this, but for me, I'm not even sure I'm going to shoot it. I think I might just sell it because it feels so bad. The trigger is so bad. And the gun just feels top heavy and then clunky. I don't know what to say. And I feel badly because I like Beretta products. I've got a 1301 T shotgun. I love it. I've got a Beretta 92A3. Really, really nice. Not my favorite double action semi-automatic, but it's really nice, and aesthetically it's super pleasing, and it's got a threaded barrel so I can attach a suppressor. But man, this particular pistol here, unless you get a super good deal on it like I got on this one, my advice would be look for something else, because there are a lot of good polymer frame guns out there that, particularly if you go to use police trade-ins, I mean, you can find a similar 9mm pistol for the same price as this, around 300 balloons. So 300, maybe 350 balloons, something like that. But this, folks, for me, would not be my choice. So anyway, that's a very quick review, and I feel terrible because I like all firearms, but this one I feel like is just not something I would recommend based purely on the trigger and how clunky it feels, how heavy, and it's just not elegant in my mind. And I can get away with an ugly looking pistol, but if the trigger sucks as bad as this, then for me, no thanks. No thanks. Anyway, that's all we got today. Thanks so much for watching. Finally, and as always, stay safe.